So my last video seemed to make some of you pretty angry. Quite a few of you angry, actually. After seeing the reaction this video got and deleting quite a few messages telling me I should unalive myself, I decided somewhat of a response video was required. Let me preface this by saying that this video will not just be a response video, but I will address a few things that have been bothering me for quite some time in the gaming industry, as well as discuss the format of my reviews moving forward. And before any of you in the comments say I'm just trying to cope my way out of my last video, see this post from 2 months ago where I asked if anyone would be interested in my musings about the gaming industry. Prior to the Grim Dawn review video, I lacked the motivation and really the catalyst to talk about this topic, but I feel like it's warranted now. Now, I'm not going to pretend like my review was perfect. It was literally my first review ever. I know that the categories that I used to rate Grim Dawn were flawed. For the most part, no one really cares about the story or the graphics in an ARPG, and I do agree that the graphics comparison was too long and flawed in its comparison. What I find ironic, though, is that people are willing to grant grace to a literal game studio that took their money for a product and overlook some flaws with that product, because they're a small indie studio and they made a product that I like. Yet those same people are willing to absolutely trash me, my channel, and my family because they don't like the format of my opinion on a game that they like when they paid $0 to click on my video. Obviously, since this is my YouTube channel, videos I post and upload are largely going to be my opinion, which kind of brings me to the point of today's video. No review is objective, period. Previous games you've played, your life experiences, the style of games that you like are all going to factor in how you view a game. Even if you try to be objective, your bias is going to creep in. It's impossible for it not to. And that's okay. There are people out there that love Nickelback, and that's okay. There are people out there that love Fortnite. That is also okay. What's not okay is being a complete douche canoe just because you disagree with someone. The absolute worst way you can get someone to listen to you is to insult them. You could be making the greatest point of all time, but if your goal was to try to convince the person to see your point of view, or at least for them to consider another point of view, if you lead with an insult, that person's brain is already shut off.
But I'm not home.
La 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 la, I am not listening. La 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 la.
Nice, fella.
I lent far too much energy and leniency to nasty and some downright hateful comments. Moving forward, I'm simply not going to engage with that type of rhetoric. Feel free to type any nasty comment that you want. After all, I can't really stop you, but I'm not going to respond to them and I'm just going to remove it. And if it continues to happen, I'll just turn all my videos to comments need approval. If you want to have a discussion with me in the comments about something you disagree with, that's fine, and I'm more than happy to do that, so long as we can have a civil discourse. But if you just want to be a dick, go be a dick elsewhere. One of the biggest complaints I got from people on my Grim Dawn review was that I didn't play through enough of the game to be able to accurately judge it. The irony of this is the fact that 35% of viewers didn't even make it past the 30-second mark of my video, and the vast majority only watched around 3 minutes and 30 seconds of a 10-minute video. It's almost like you can consume a small portion of something and decide whether or not you like it. The second biggest complaint I got was that viewers felt I ranked Grim Dawn too low in the respective categories and too low overall. But I thought I was fair in my rankings by the respective numbers, while a vast majority of you didn't think I was fair. And that brings us to the root of the problem. The ambiguity of using numbers to rate games. Everyone knows that a 1 means really bad and a 10 means really good. But what about a 4, a 7, a 9, a 2? There's far too much room for interpretation and misinterpretation with the numbers that aren't exactly 1 or 10. And even when someone gives a game a really low rating or a really high rating, you sometimes cannot trust that the review is accurate. Smaller content creators are scared to voice a minority opinion because of reactions like my last video got, while larger content creators, you can't tell if they're shilling for the game or if that's how they actually feel. This became super apparent to me when I was making a lot of Diablo 4 content. I was still largely pretty happy with the game up until relatively recently, but because the popular opinion was D4 bad, if you weren't on that bus, you were a smooth-brained moron. If you even dare to say something remotely positive about Diablo 4 on Reddit, you will get absolutely shredded with negative comments and D4 bad memes. But I digress. Back to the topic of reviews. It's almost become a meme at how many games IGN rates 10 out of 10. To me, a 10 out of 10 game is a masterpiece, game of the year material. 9 out of 10, almost perfect. Anything between 2 and 8, fuck if I know. It's the unfortunate side effect of gaming becoming pretty mainstream. So many games are 10 out of 10, and when every game is a 10 out of 10, no game is a 10 out of 10. Part of the reason why I made this review of Grim Dawn was because I got baited by all the 10 out of 10s and 9 out of 10 reviews. Is Grim Dawn a decent game? Sure, I definitely played worse. Is it a 10 out of 10 game of the year masterpiece? Not in my opinion, no. Some of you might think so, and hey, that's okay. This whole black or white polarity is part of the reason why gaming reviews are so unreliable. Darth Microtransaction made a video about this because he got called a shill because he praised Blizzard for some good changes to Diablo 4. So moving forward with future reviews, I plan on not using numbers to rank the game. A lot of the complaints I had about Grim Dawn were shared by other reviewers. The only difference was they loved the game while I just simply thought the game was okay. So to combat this, I will discuss things I like and dislike about certain aspects of the game and then give a final rating of the game. I haven't decided the exact imagery I'm going to use for the final rating, but it'll be something like thumbs up, recommended, definitely worth playing and worth the money, middle thumb, decent game, probably wait for a sale to purchase, thumbs down, not recommended. Had I used this rating system to rate Grim Dawn, it would have fallen in the middle thumb category, and I feel like this video would have received a lot less flack. Some of you voiced that you felt I insulted you with my video, and that was not my intention at all. So I apologize if that's how it came across. My intention is to bring you honest and truthful reviews based on how I perceive the game. And sometimes you might not like my opinion, and that's okay. All of us here love video games, and we don't always have to love the same video games. I love talking about games, and I love that people are so passionate about the titles that they love, even if I don't feel the same way about those titles. Even a bad video game is better than no video game. I want to thank everyone for their continued support. I recently made YouTube Partner, a goal I thought previously unobtainable, and it's all thanks to you guys. So if you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing. I'm very close to 2,000 subscribers, and it would be a huge milestone for me if I could hit it. I upload at least once a week on various gaming topics or games that are currently holding my attention. Thanks for watching. Until next time.